early as I can remember, I always wanted a two-door car. And my love for the two-door cars came from the second generation Jimny, the Indian-built Maruti Gypsy. And my uncle would come around in one back in the 90s. And from that point on, I fell in love with the two-door cars. That's why when I saved up enough money to buy my first car, I immediately got my hands on this Pajero Mini. But we are not here to talk about the Mini. We are here to talk about this. And this is a 2022 Suzuki Jimny JC, and is currently the only Mini 4x4 sold in Japan or anywhere else in the world, and for good reason. Let's find out. The SUV market has really changed, and the consumption has shifted towards buyers who are only interested in big cars. And as you know, that has led to the death of sedans. You will hear comments like, it's too small, I wish it had 4 doors. But these are consumers with little or no understanding about Mini 4x4s. And of course, they think that anything without the space of a Prado is not a real car. The same people will say that a Ferrari 458 is a waste of money. So this is no ordinary Jimny review. I'll give you some interesting points about this fourth generation Jimny. And you can order it in 2 main versions, the Jimny or the Jimny Sierra. The regular Jimny falls under the K-Class category and is powered by a 660cc turbo engine, which I love very much on my Pajero Mini. So this is the Jimny Sierra, differentiated from the regular version with by the white body. So you have these white fenders. The engine is also different, 1.5 liter NA. The compression is high for that matter. And you have about 105 humble horses. So this is not the kind of car that you buy because it's popular, because someone else bought it, because it's good looking. You have to understand it first. You have to understand its purpose. 105 horsepower is considered low by today's standard. And most people will think it's underpowered, it's not fast, and that's true. But once you understand the purpose of this car, that's when you really, really fall in love with it. And for me, it's been a bliss because I came from a very small car. I came from an underpowered car, same class of car. So the love was just linear. 105 naturally aspirated horses in a car that just weighs next to nothing. And the best thing about this car is the 5-speed. It's simple, efficient, and just lovable. So in most cases, you'd expect, if I switch on the AC, to feel that pinch of power going to the compressor. But in this car, you don't feel that. So I'm in 4th gear, I'm in 5th gear going up a hill. When I come back to 4th, still have that power. Almost 3 million Jimnys have been sold since 1970. And the most popular thing about this car is the 4x4 system, which again, thanks to its weight, performs better than most cars with a dedicated 4x4 system. It does not come with heavy assist options to aid your 4x4 adventures, but that's because Suzuki trusts their brilliant engineering, which is a minimalist approach to 4x4 engineering with a proven success record for almost half a century. Its default mode is rear-wheel drive, which is the best and the preferred mode for day-to-day use on tarmac, soft off-road, and such. Remember, the most important thing about off-road driving is not the 4x4 system. It's not the power, none of those. The most important thing is ground clearance. You can have the best 4x4 system, but without ground clearance, it means nothing. On the Jimny, the approach angle is an impressive 37 degrees. The departure angle is even better at 49 degrees, while the ramp over angle is a solid 28 degrees.
As I said, even in stock form, with factory suspension, you can do plenty of off-roading in this car.
Right now we're in rear wheel drive. It's in 2H. Go to 4-wheel drive. Just have to pull this lever back. Then to go into, this is high range, 4-wheel drive, low range. I have to pull back further.
To engage 4-wheel drive, you don't even need to come to a stop if you need to engage 4H, which is high range. Just make sure that the wheels are straight. Then in my case, depress the clutch and pull the small gear lever back. You don't have to depress the clutch, but my instincts always tell me to do it. And this is one of the features that makes this a true 4x4, being able to change from rear wheel drive to all-wheel drive. Just look at that. The wheel articulation on this is superb. Sexy, if I may add. This is the beauty of a thrilling suspension with coil springs. The stock suspension is very soft, good and comfortable, but if you plan on some serious off-roading, the stock suspension may need some upgrading. But this is just a few things like stiffer springs to reduce the body roll while increasing the cornering speed. Currently, I have retained my stock springs to enjoy the comfort a little longer, but I upgraded the tires to Maxxis 8980 Bravo. These are really superb. No road noise, and they're quite usable on most terrains. And let's be honest, they look really good on this car. A lift is necessary if you plan to go anywhere near rocks. You can get underbelly guards to protect the diffs, gearbox, etc., but those will work even better if the whole car sits a little higher. Of course, that will affect your already not so good center of gravity, and the fuel economy should also tilt a bit.
Enough of that now. I want to show you the most interesting features about this car. Being a Japanese spec, you get a few options that you won't find in other markets. And in Japan, you get two main trims, the JL and the JC. The JC, like this one here, is the highest trim that you will find in that local market. But what does it come with? Let's find out. So the first feature is cruise control. And I was curious to find out how it would work in a manual car. Only to find out it's very easy. So on this car, you can use cruise control from that gear onwards. And the first step is to, activate cruise control using this button. It will show on the cluster. Then you just have to accelerate or decelerate to your desired speed. So I'm in 8 now. Then press down set. And now it's set. And my foot is off the gas. I'm just doing the steering now. So if you want to reduce, you can just use the minus and the plus, which is the same set and resume. So I can bring it down to 80. So we are now doing 80. Still using cruise control. But you have to remember that every time you use the clutch, it's going to deactivate. But that's normal. It's just like in an automatic car, every time you use the brake. And in this car, the same applies. So if you want to, for example, I want to downshift. So I have downshifted. Then upshift. So if I want to resume, I can just hit. I've resumed now to 80. I was doing 80. So cruise control is back to 80. Next up is the automatic climate control. And on this car, It's so good you may think it's a hybrid. On the say, for example, if you switch the AC on, you feel the compressor draining the engine power, especially if you're in traffic. You don't get that in the Suzuki. They're just so good with the power management. So all you just need to do is to press the auto button. So the sensors will just sense the temperature outside and inside and either cool or warm the cabin. And to switch it off, just press the off button. Then we have pedestrian recognition. And I really want to turn that feature off. It does what it says. And we are going to see that in a bit. It's the most overused feature on this car because you have obviously people everywhere.
Then we have the LED headlights. You have full LED headlights, and this can literally see through your soul. I honestly feel so comfortable driving at night, even on no beams. The LED headlights come with the following. Number 1, high beam assist, since they are adaptive. Number 2, auto leveling mechanism. It basically makes sure that you're not blinding oncoming traffic. Number 3, auto light. In auto mode, the headlights will switch on and off automatically depending on the amount of light detected by the sensors. Number 4, headlight washers. These do a really good job. I think Suzuki understand that this car will need them more. Speaking of washers, the wiper blades are really good too. Short blades with so much cleaning power. Number 5 is the light automatic turn off system. It ensures that your lights are not left running all night in case you forget to turn them off. Most cars have this nowadays. The preceding vehicle start notification is a feature that basically tells you not to zuba in traffic. If the car ahead starts moving, you should move. Don't hold traffic. Then we have the stagger alarm function. If you start driving zigzag or doze off while driving, the vehicle will sense and warn you. Brake assist basically helps you to brake more, so that if you apply the brakes quickly, it will determine if there is an emergency braking occurring and will even apply more braking power to help you stop. Sign recognition, on the other hand, is a camera that will read any road sign, especially speed limit warning sign, and then display them on the cluster display. The emergency stop signal is one that works by flashing the indicators automatically if you apply the brakes quickly during an emergency. This will warn the drivers behind you. Then we have hill hold assist and hill descent control. These are some of the most important features on this car. Hill hold assist will buy you time to put the car into first gear on a hill, and this will prevent it from rolling backwards. Hill descent control, on the other hand, will hold the brakes for you while going down a steep slope. This can only be used in 4H and 4L. This way, you can focus on steering the car. Then you have these heated door mirrors. So you can imagine driving in the fog or in the snow. You're definitely going to need that to improve your visibility. Electric side mirrors with indicators is a feature that is now common on most cars. But for some reason, Suzuki decided to use this feature on select markets. On the Jimny JC, the door mirrors will retract automatically if left in auto mode or manually if left in manual mode. Then we have keyless start. Push to start is definitely a neat feature, but you'll still have the manual key just in case the key fob fails to work. Keyless entry is one that I'm still trying to figure out how flexible it is on this car. So far so good. You can access the car by pressing these tiny buttons on the doors to either open or close the doors. Seat heating. Oh yes, I love this one. This is the best seat heating I've seen in a while. Forget what you find on luxury cars. This is so raw, and that's the whole point of heat. You need it to feel as close as possible to the heat from a fireplace in the house. On the Jimny, the heating works so precisely, and you don't have to sit and wait for your buttocks to get warm during those cold mornings. The luggage accessory socket is one that will come in handy, especially during those camping trips. However, I would still prefer a modern power source that is more efficient. The start-stop system is another common feature on most cars. If I'm in gear and come to a stop, the engine will switch off automatically. It will then restart immediately after my foot comes off the clutch. Having said that, you can now understand why I opted for a Japanese spec car. And given that it's a car that I want to keep forever, I needed it to have all the possible options. And I love it. The sad reality is that two-door SUVs are on the verge of extinction. And two-door cars like the two-door, the Jimny, two-door Jeep, two-door Bronco are becoming less and less popular. And I look at all the new Bronco orders and nearly all of them are spec'd as four doors. And gone are the days when two-door Prados were considered prestigious. Simply saying
that generation of buyers has dwindled over the years.
But all is not lost. The Jimny is a big cult in the car world, and even though a four-door could be in the works, Suzuki will not completely abandon the heritage of this little samurai. I will love my Jimny forever because these cars are meant to last not one but multiple lifetimes. Because if 9 lives of a cat was a car, this would be it. That's good.